This is cutting down the nets, a fully tilted cutting down the nets. Usually it's just water off a duck's back, but starting to get a little frustrated. I think 7 of my last 11 losses have been by less than a possession, and it wears on you. It wears on you. So we're getting back on track today, Monday, January 10th. For the year, 55.4%. Sliding the last 7 days. As I mentioned, man alive. Lots of close losses. I'm not going to call them bad beats, and I'm not going to complain about them. It's just tough to be on that side of variances often as I have. So not really many regrets, probably a few mistakes in there, but man, that stuff happens, and it's frustrating when it does. So let's get to Monday's schedule. We have 3 that I have dug into that I'm seeing a little bit of value, but for the most part, this slate is spot on with what I have. And something to note, man, something has changed. You used to be able to just book that the line would basically be the KenPom number. And I've seen this year like zero respect for whatever KenPom has. First game, KenPom 1, line is 3. Oregon State, Oregon by 3, says KenPom. Book's like, yeah, how about 6? So I've just seen that a lot, and I predict a lot of the line movement based off that. Maybe that will continue, not sure. But first 3 games, not seeing much value. Again, the value is off to the right, and I'm looking for more than a possession, preferably more than that, but just kind of depends on the situation. When I spot value, I then dig into the matchup and see if there is significant risk based on the matchup. If it's a neutral matchup or even a positive for the side we want, then we will fire the cannons. So, first one that showed some value was North Dakota State on the road at Denver. I think we could get a bigger number here given the Bison record. These teams are fairly close in shot quality ranks. Haslametrics has this close. I have this close. Torvik has this close. Denver does have turnover issues, but this is the spot. This is the team you want to play if you have turnover issues. So Denver turned the ball over at about 20% of the time, which is scarily high. But North Dakota State forcing turnovers on just 12% of the possessions, which is bottom 20 in NCAA. So I don't know. I think there's a play here. I'm not sure if I'm going to make it, and I'm going to see if I get a bigger number. If I don't, and the line comes down, I probably sit it out. Am I running scared? Yep, I am. And and I'm frustrated. So I'm just trying to be careful, but that could show up on BetStamp. I need to think through that one a little more. Green one here. Again, when you see 8, 9 points of value, especially at this point in the season and with these type of teams, I would not jump head over heels and make it a giant play for yourself. I'd play it the same I would any other game, so don't go overboard on this game. But I have South Carolina State by 10. Haslam has them by, I think, 14. Torvik by 4. KenPom has 1. And the line is 1.5. Shot quality actually has these teams pretty equal. So at some point I'll do a video on shot quality, but it's taking into account the types of shots, who's shooting them, and where on the court to determine the likelihood of that shot producing positive point per possession. And these teams are close. So something to note there. That scares me off a little bit. But Morgan State's last Division I game was on December 18th. That's a week before Christmas if you're scoring at home. So it's been a very, very long time. They've cracked just 0.9 raw points per possession only twice this year. Now, South Carolina State has plenty of issues themselves. This will be a fast-paced, sloppy MEAC game. But give me the fresher team, and hold your nose at that one because I think the range of outcomes is very large there. But why have a model if you're going to say, nah, 8 points of value, I'm running scared, I'll look for something else. So I'm playing that one. Nothing even close on some of these. This Boston American, I just put a 5 in here with the red. I don't have a line on that yet, but the likelihood of it being a play, I think, is pretty slim. Orange game here, Arkansas, Pine Bluff, Prairie View A&M. These teams are better than their record, but the records couldn't be much worse. They played a gauntlet of non-con schedules. PVAM, the number one schedule in the country. I think Pine Bluff is 30, 35, something like that. So I'm just going to sit it out. I want a sample versus like teams first. Now, the whole point of adjusted efficiencies is you are weighting that based on who you're playing. But what that means is, just as an example, if you scored like 0.9 points per possession against Baylor, it's going to look better than you scoring 1.25 points per possession against Ooey Pooey. So I don't know. I trust adjusted efficiencies. I've based my entire strategy around them, but I just think we have some extreme cases here, so I want to see that play out. But again, the disrespect to KenPom, who has the line at 16. It came in at 12. I'm at 8. Torvik at 13. Holy Cross, Lehigh, nothing. Mississippi Valley State, congrats on your first win. We're all very proud of you. You get Texas Southern here, and not much there. Again, disrespect to KenPom. He has 23. Line came in at 18.5. So again, that's kind of what I'm talking about here. It's just bizarre. You used to be able to just bank that, well, the opener is going to be 23 there, so we just kind of know what to expect, and it actually came underneath my number, which was a little surprising. Yellow game here. Illinois Chicago at Ooey Pooey. Ooey Pooey is entering danger territory of worst team in college basketball. They have egregious shot selection. In the world of rim and three, they're shooting 41% mid to long range twos. But I think the line is a little high for a road game, and I just want a better number. So I'd be a buyer at 6 or 6.5. So to recap for myself, South Carolina State minus 1.5. I will play that game. Denver, I'm going to watch. I think that could go up. And UIC, I'm just hoping for a better number. This is what happens when you're running scared a little bit. But overall, we're having a great year. Nothing to hang our head about. And weeks ago, I predicted once you get to that 13 games played, 14, 15, this is where things get tough for me. And we'll be out of that soon. And then we'll be looking at more recent data than everyone else. So this is Cutting Down the Nets. Thanks for stopping by.